Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. Today is Wednesday, September 8th, and I'm a little early today. Sorry, busy day. Just wanted to make sure to get caught up because I've got some calls, some texts, some emails, and some voicemails to leave today. So busy day, but that's the topic today. Talking, texting, emailing, and voicemails. So, this topic, I love talking about this topic. It's one of my favorites. So I'm going to try to keep it to a reasonable short time. But everything I'm saying is not 100% fact or right or wrong because with communicating with people and talking, texting, emailing, and voicemails is all relative to the person that you are talking to. And how often, with clients, with friends, with family, do you talk about how you like to be communicated, or you just assume, or you start communicating the way you want to be communicated with? And there's different ways to look at it. So I am going to give you an example of me. So, because you might experience people like me, a family member, a friend, a client. But let's stick with on the business side is that as a consumer, when you have a salesperson or someone that's there to help you, you have a way that you like to be communicated with, and how responsiveness. Do you like emails? Do you like calls? Do you like text? Are you one of those people like, I want to be able to talk or text someone now? I'm not going to wait. I don't like to wait. Or I'm okay with an answer back right away, that when they're going to get back to me. So I'm going to jump in, and I'm kind of put this all together for you, my thoughts in order on how we as consumers, as we as salespeople, should think about this topic, how important it is. Because I know myself, I'll start with this example. I know myself. I give you an example. I have personal relationships, I have business relationships. I love to talk. I do. I love to talk. You can see in my videos, I love to talk. But, here's the but. I'm the type of person is, if we're having a conversation, I like to schedule it. I just don't like to pick up the phone, someone's calling me, and we're going to just jump into a conversation. I want to know when we're going to talk. If it's a business thing, what we're going to talk about, so I can prepare myself, make sure I get my information, do a little research, do something so it's productive, so we could do it at that time. And if it's a personal thing, I want to know what we're going to talk about. I mean, if it's just a catch up, is it something you need? Is it planning a day out? What is it? I'm one of these, I'm OCD. I want to know what, when, why before anything, good or bad or anything. Example, like me as a person, there's a certain drugstore near my house. It's closest to my house, but sometimes I avoid that drugstore if I have time, because the woman behind the counter is so nice, but she wants to talk about all the products that I'm buying. And then everybody, I'm not buying anything crazy, but I just don't want to know, hey, what about this? And all the people in line get to hear, and then I got to hear every story about everybody's product that they're buying. Like, oh, that's great. Do you like that? That's nice. Again, wonderful woman. Great. So nice. But I'm like, oh, I got to hear the stories about everybody's products before them or whatever. But I, as a consumer, avoid that place because that woman is so nice, but she thinks she's being helpful, but she might be turning someone off the way she's communicating with people. Did I lose anybody there? You're like, Tony, you're a horrible person because that lady's just trying to be nice. Now, think of a bit where someone in certain situations, as you as a consumer are so nice and they're trying to connect with you, but you're like not in the mood, you're not in that space. So to the realtors out there, in real estate, and I've got a main point to this, in real estate, this is a stressful transaction for people. So you've got to find out, and you should ask them how they like to communicate with you. Would you like text? Would you like group group text with you and your spouse, or someone else, another decision maker? Would you like calls? What would you like? How would you like that? And that's what I'm going to use me as an example. If someone says to me, Tony, what do you want? I go, I want you to always text me first what you need, what you want to talk about, and schedule a great time. And if it's an emergency, you just write, hey, by the way, please call me as soon as possible. We need this answer by this. Never, ever, again, I'm just giving you an example of me. Never, ever text me, please call me. Don't do that. I need to know why, because I have a busy schedule. I need to know why you need to talk to me. Also, for me, using me as an example, because I know what I want. And if you had a consumer like me, there's people out there. If someone calls me without texting first, I equate that to like walking into someone's house without knocking first. Why are you calling? What do you need? Is it right away? Is it an emergency? Because I want my phone, when it's ringing, it's like the bat phone. It's like that, like in the movies, that red phone. Like, oh my God, someone's calling me. It's an emergency because they can't get to their fingers to text on that. Or they're in their car on that. So that's an example of me. So when you communicate with your clients, make sure you ask them, do you like text? How, you could send me text, or and then you give them the time you're available. This is the next thing about text. To me, I like response times. I do. I mean, I have my phone right here. There's a call and a text right while we've been talking. I have that. I'm watching that, monitoring my incoming text, emails, voicemails all day, even between things, because I want to make sure anything emergency is being caught. But if someone texts me, I'm going to try to text back as soon as possible to set up a time to talk, let them know I'm busy right now. I'm sorry, I don't have time right now. I have other things to take care of, but I have time this time. Do you need anything ASAP? To me, response time, minutes, hours, days, there is important to customer service. Not the actual need it, but they know that they acknowledged it. To me, as a consumer, if I text someone and they don't respond back to me within an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, if it's more than a certain period of time, we'll say, it could be a half hour, 2 hours. If they respond to me like 3 hours later and don't apologize for not texting me earlier, go, I'm so sorry I didn't text you earlier, I missed the text, or I've been in meetings. To me, it's like, again, because I'm a big texter, and I'm using me as an example, is someone face-to-face saying, hey, can you answer this question? And then they just turn around and walk away. I need to know why. Like, I'm sorry, I was picking up a phone call. Sorry, it was an emergency here. You don't have to explain, but I would like somewhat of a reason why. Because us texters that assume like they looked at it and we're not important. That's the whole point to that. I know there's people out there, I have friends, family, other people, other business acquaintances that totally disagree with this. That's why it's all relative to who you're talking to. But us texters, when you text somebody and they don't respond to you, we just assume that within those 3 hours you looked at the text and could not even find the minute to text back, hey, thank you for your text, I'll call you back soon, let's schedule a time, something that you didn't even have the energy to got your text, send it. Because I tell all of my agents, and a lot of you watching this now, if I don't respond to you within a reasonable time, I might have missed it because I've been in a meeting or doing this, and I got 5 texts, and I'm texting people back, scheduling times, and for some reason I clicked on it, there might have been a whatever, or my service just didn't come through. That rarely happens, but sometimes it does. So, again, that's an example there. Now, things that I'm working on, voicemails, and communicating through voicemails. I personally hate voicemails. I do. When someone calls me and leaves me a voicemail, I sometimes hate that because I just want to call them back. So a lot of you know this. You're like laughing, oh yeah, Tony. He every time I leave a voicemail for him, if he's on the phone or something, and then he just calls me back. I'm like, sorry, and I used to do that. I still do that to this day. Is that people call me and I don't even listen to their voicemail. I call them and said, hey Bob, just want to let you know I didn't have a chance to listen to your voicemail. I just wanted to call you back and see how I could help you. But I'm learning more and doing better with. Some people like to communicate through voicemail. I actually, when I thought I was being helpful, like, wow, Tony called me back. Some people were getting offended that I didn't listen to their voicemail because there were certain instructions in there. They actually didn't. Part of them said, maybe we could talk, but if I get his voicemail, I'm going to leave all the things that I need and want, and he doesn't even have to call me back. So a lot of times I'll jump the gun, so to say, and call people before I listen to their voicemail. Oop, I hit something here. Hopefully I didn't. Oh, we're still there. Sorry. Hit my keyboard there. But maybe they want to communicate through voicemail. Are you one of those people? Sometimes I am. Sometimes I just want to. I hope to get someone's voicemail because I really don't have the time to have a 45-minute conversation, but I want to leave a detailed message I can't put in the text. And so, dude, I need this. I need this fact, and I need this, and then I'll get back to you, and we'll put it together. We'll work together on this. That's kind of, again, vague, but that's kind of what's in my head of how I handle and help people with what they need throughout the day. So, are you one of those people that loves voicemail? Sometimes, like, you get it, you're like, oh, thank you, I got a voicemail, and I'm going to leave them everything they need to know. Not that you don't like that person, but you just don't have time sometimes. So I feel sometimes when people call me, and especially when you're calling someone that's busy, that has scheduled calls and things to do, that might be a person that just likes to leave voicemails. You never think of that? Like, why is this person never text? They never send an email. They always like to call. Maybe consciously or unconsciously, they love to leave voicemails. Those people that love those long, detailed voicemails. I'm starting to love that better. Because before it used to be, wow, I had to listen to this 5-10 minute voicemail and then call them, and we could have got the whole thing done in 5-10 minutes, but I didn't realize a lot of people like those voicemails and appreciate you listening to them. So the main point of the text is find out from people if they like it, if they want to be in group text. Explain your availability. Unfortunately, there's no auto text back, no reply back, like, hey, I won't be available for 2 hours. Always be mindful of those people that love to text and making sure that you explain or say, sorry, I didn't get back to you, and be apologetic because they were looking for an answer an hour ago, or just an acknowledgement that you were there. A text back is like never picking up the phone, or no one being available to that. In today's world, speed, you're going on websites and there's someone to talk to. Now it's a bot half the time, and it's not even a real person that they could even have sitting there at a computer answering questions on that. But we want instant responses on that. Now, emails. Again, I use me as an example. Some people still live by emails, especially in a business setting. But there are people that don't even have email. I mean, many emails, because they just don't use it for their day-to-day life or work. Us as realtors, we live by email because contracts going back and forth and signatures and this, and we're always on email. Sometimes when I tell our agents and anybody watching this, that's Central and Homestar agents, that I get all of the emails of the office, I get a copy of it. Again, I'm OCD. I'm trying to quarterback the day, watch over emails, everything that's sent to our office email. Julia, Debbie, Carly, Brenda, any of our office emails, I get a copy. So I get about 400 to 500 emails a day. But do I read every single one? But I glance at it just to make sure I don't need to jump in and say, hey, I have an opinion about that situation, or good job on your sale, or hey, you do this, or my suggestion of that, because a lot of times they're asking questions or things like that. And it helps me as a manager, as a broker, as an owner, to help manage people and help out with that kind of thing. So emails to me is not a quick response. So I tell agents that I'm not a quick response with emails because I might not see it right away. But some people like are at their computer or at a job where their emails in front of them all day long. So sometimes it's hours, it's days, it's weeks later, not weeks, but days later, because it's something that I missed, or I put down like, okay, that's something I got to work on later. And I always tell our agents, anybody watching this, if you always send me an email that you want me to look at right away, always text me or call me. Say, hey, I just sent you an email. Can you look at it when you get a chance so it doesn't get buried on that? But the whole point I'm explaining how I work is that you have to ask those questions to your clients. Do you like emails? You don't like emails? Are you checking them often? Just communication wise, and they're going to appreciate that more and more. And also, I'm going to throw in here, and I forgot to put it on the text. I put talking, texting, emails, and voicemails, but I didn't. I forgot to put instant message or social networking message, because I have some agents that and people that love to just communicate on Facebook Instant Messenger or other things and not other things. They like that type of communication for some reason. They love that. For some reason that's them. That's just the way they like. They like it. Maybe they travel and they don't have to use their minutes, or they don't have to worry about cell service. They don't have to worry about Wi-Fi. There's different reasons on that. So I always say, ask that, because someone might say, I love that. I've had agents that travel different places to other countries. They have family, they have friends. Because I remember years ago, I asked that question. I'm like, I remember as an agent, I said, you do a lot in instant message. You love instant messenger. Why? Can I ask why? And she said that she has a lot of family from other countries, and that's how they communicate through, because they have Wi-Fi, they both have Facebook, and they communicate more with instant messenger because they don't have to worry about the cellular service or long distance or different parts of the country. It's just a way of them communicating, and she says people around her got to use that. So it's a reason. That's what they like to use. So I know I went on for a while. It's been a while because I love talking about this topic. But the bottom line is, I suggest to ask them questions on what they like. Some clients, at the end of the day, they want to talk. They want to sit down and then schedule a time. Like, hey, would you like me to call you at 8 o'clock every evening, either every evening, whatever, give you an update of what's happening on with your transaction? Or would you like a status update through a text? Who's on it? Would you like an email? Would you like instant message? Would you like me to, if I don't get you, do you mind if I leave you a detailed voicemail that you could listen to later? And you'll really feel, and I honestly feel that they'll appreciate that you actually care about the timeliness of your responses, what way they want to communicate, and what's best for them. And one more thing I'll say about texts is, there's some people, and I'm one of them, that just that's my number one communication, because I communicate with dozens and dozens and dozens of people someday, and texts are always the best way because it's fastest, easiest. But of course, I'm on the phone all day long too. But your emotion has to come out in your texts. Some people want to see the emotion, a smiley face, an LOL, a good job, whatever. You got to put some emotion in there, because some people, when you text, they're mad at me. They're not being sincere. So sometimes with text, it's hard because some people are not using it often, or they are using it often. They use a lot of emotion. So I say, mimic the emotion you get from them, and try to do a little bit better. So you might have to, like writing a greeting card. If you just signed your name on it and just wrote whatever, some people are like, what effort did you put into that? So if you're just using text to some people just to give information, and you're like, this, no smiley face, no emotion, no emoji, no exclamation points. I love those. That my agents that get texts from me, lots of exclamation points, smiley faces, because I want to show a little bit of my emotion of what I'm feeling at the time when I'm sending the text out, so they don't think it's just just there. So again, I just wanted to throw that in there about communicating with people, especially the text message. A lot of that going on in our business out there, and I know some of you, it's frustrating to you. Like, I just want to talk to these people, but they always text back. And one more thing, I know I could go on forever about this, is, and I say this a lot of agents out there, because they're not customers with other agents, they think, let's keep this short, let's keep this simple, and don't talk. I really do feel, now I'm a texter, but I really do feel when you're working on a transaction together, agents need to talk and hear about the emotion of what's happening with their buyer and seller and how important things are to them and things, and not just facts. Facts. But I see that's happening, especially with some agents that are getting busier and busier. They go, I don't need to talk to this agent. Just text me. Don't talk to me. Don't call me. But again, I help agents almost daily on things and how to handle those kind of situations. And if you get in those, and one of the things I always say is to say, you got to be nice and say to the other agent, I know you love text. I would love to this, but I really would like just 2 minutes of your time to explain the situation where my buyer's coming from or seller's coming from, and just work this out. Just give me a good time. You just have 2 minutes to cut aside for me. Promise to make that time available to you. Sometimes, and hopefully some of you will be like, agree, like, God, sometimes some agents just don't want to be friendly and nice and helpful sometimes because it's a stressful time. And I think that they just sometimes just get stressed out, and they just need to be so accommodating to their clients, they forget to be accommodating and nice to the other agent. Hopefully that makes sense and that came out right, because I'm giving the agents the benefit of the doubt. They're not trying to be rude on purpose, or majority of the time they're trying to be helpful, but they're so busy or stressed out of making everybody accommodating to everybody else that they forget that the other agent is an important part of this transaction, and your relationship with them and communication with them matters to the whole transaction and everybody being happy. So I hopefully agree with that. So that's it for today. Sorry for the long video today, but I'm happy to talk individually about this topic and how to help you if you feel you need that extra ideas or thoughts or brainstorming how to communicate better with people in talking, texting, email, voicemail, and instant message. So that's it. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow on Thursday. Bye-bye.